We are back in between segments with Frank the Tank Kaminsky. Time for quite possibly the best top 5 list we've ever done. We'll get there in a second. Of course, the top 5 list on the Inside Wisconsin show is presented by Wisconsin's best engineering school, the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. UW-Platteville offers an affordable engineering program, and its graduates stay in Wisconsin, driving innovation at top companies right here at home. Find out more at uwplatt.edu/engineering. J.A., this is the best top 5 idea you have ever had. By far.
You're really psyched. I don't know why that is. Is you just have a lot of pent-up anger and frustration you want to get out?
Well, so we are on the positive train, right? Positivity, unity, positive. Community, joy. This is the first time we're going to talk about things that we don't like.
Right. So we had talked in texting Frank, and I had said, listen, just so you know, obviously trying to curry favor, I said, listen, I will never be able to fully embrace or forgive Grayson Allen for what happened in the Duke championship game. And so I just said to you, what if we just had like the top 5 villains or the top 5 most hated opponents in Wisconsin people? And you seem to think that maybe that could be a half-hour special on HBO or a Netflix special. Did you got a book full of them, or do you just have it write it down?
This is my notebook, and I have a list. Page? Yeah, it's a page. All right. All right. So we talked this through. I'm going to attempt to talk about the top 5 people, maybe in like the younger years, right? And you went a little bit older. Is this true?
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know that they'll be the same. So we'll leave it at that.
Probably not.
And listen, I went far and wide because I'm thinking things that are, the people, and I thought, well, like Velveeta, because it's the anti-cheese. And I thought, like Urban Meyer should probably be on the list, but he's not an athlete, so he's not, he's not there. Like you could do Eli Manning, right? He feels like he should have a lot of, anger against him. If I was going to go way back, right, like Willie McGee, he pretty much ruined the World Series in '82 against the Brewers. Rookie year that time, hit a couple of home runs in Milwaukee in a big win, so he could be on the list. Like, how do you pick a Cowboy from their run when they frustrated the Packers and Holmgren Favre for so long, right?
Here's one of my honorable mentions, Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith.
But then you're missing out the guy that Michael Irvin is the guy who everybody really probably dislikes the most.
That's true, yeah.
By the way, as opponents go, can Brett Favre be on the list?
No, I did think about that, but absolutely not.
Okay, so at least you gave it thought. That's all I'm saying.
I did just for a second. That was so weird, though. Like, no way.
It entered my mind.
Yeah, me too. That was weird. I don't like that.
All right. So as always, I have a top 5 with 6.
Sure. 5A and 5B. This is normal.
This time it's 3A and 3B. All right. So number 5 is Grayson Allen.
Uh-huh.
All right. He's got to be. Number 4, still with basketball, is just name anybody on the Celtics from the Bird, Parrish, McHale, Ainge, Dennis Johnson that ruined so many great Bucks seasons. So many times. They were so good. Win the division, 50, 55 games. Marcus Johnson, Sidney Moncrief, Terry Cummings. Really good teams and couldn't get out of the East because of those teams. So pick one off those teams. That's more me than – I know that like that's sort of the Cowboy equivalent, and I just figure of my age, Trev, more people are damaged by that.
Yeah.
Number 3 is where we have the tie. You got John Elway for screwing up the Super Bowl and being famous because he helicoptered around. Big deal. And then the other one is Kirk Cousins, both for being a Viking and for the crap he pulled at Michigan State with the touchdown pass that I still don't think the guy was over the line to beat the Badgers and Russell Wilson and those guys. So Elway and Cousins are at number 3.
Got it.
I can't separate them. My animosity is such that I cannot separate them. Number 2, very UWGB, is Steve Smith for sinking the basketball, Michigan State sinking the bucket that sent UWGB home when they looked like they were going to beat them, go to the Sweet 16. And legend has it, he shoots the jumper and it's going in, but before it goes in, he turns around and looks at the Phoenix bench and asks them how they're spending the rest of their spring break.
No way.
Yeah, it's fantastic, right? How's that?
Wow. That's Tiger Woods-esque.
What are you guys doing for the rest of spring break? So Steve Smith's number 2 on my list. And number one, and I'm kind of torn because I'm like, I'm not sure why you bother to hate this guy. He threw enough interceptions to make everybody happy. But Jay Cutler is number one
Oh, yeah.
of hated opponents. Jay Cutler.
The villain.
And like I said, and Charles Woodson always said, like, don't be mad. Like, just wait long enough. Jay will throw one to us. And he used to throw one to him all the time.
Oh, jeez.
And I have this last caveat because I've got the Madison shirt on and we're talking to Frank. And years ago, when I first started at Missouri and had a reputation for a pretty good party school, right? Ranked really high.
Yeah.
And Playboy came out with their ranking of party schools. And Wisconsin's nowhere to be found. And it says, this is a college list. We're not ranking the professionals.
That is so true.
Yes. So in that spirit, that's why Randy Moss isn't on my list, because Randy Moss is above and beyond all of these people and has his own rarefied air of people at Wisconsin who dislike him. So I don't know that he can be on my regular list.
Yeah, that's
right? So
fair. That totally makes sense.
And then here's Randy over here all by himself.
Yeah.
And everybody's just ball of hate for him.
Mooned Lambeau Field. Like that, you're not going to get away with that, dude. What are you doing?
I mean, listen, they won, and it was a bold statement, but it puts him forever as a marked man.
My turn. I'm jacked for this. All right. Okay, here
By
we
the
go.
way, in that top five, how did I name? Like 12 people? Something like 14?
Well, okay, so there's a couple honorable mentions. I wrote, this is not my top five yet. Just hear me out on this. We didn't hate, Urlacher isn't a villain per se, but man, he was a nemesis. Like he was
Nemesis. Yep.
Nemesis, yeah. Okay. So also, do you remember Chris Hovan?
I do.
Yeah. Linebacker or defensive lineman for the Vikings. He caused Favre a ton of trouble. I feel like early 2000s.
I feel like Warren Sapp's coming with where you're headed, but
Okay. Number 5 is anybody that says the in front of Ohio State. I hate that.
Well, that's not a player. That's just that's a fan base.
Okay, fine. So be it. Then all of them are on my list.
All right.
Here are the actual people. Number 4.
We are number 5.
Oh. Number 4, Mateen Cleaves.
Another Sparty. We have some Sparties on the list. Steve Smith.
Michigan State. They beat Wisconsin 2000 Final Four, and he went off. Not a fan of him.
In one of the worst basketball games ever.
Yeah.
So that game, what was it, like 40-20? It set basketball back 100 years. God bless Dick Bennett, who's friend of the program, but that game was almost unwatchable.
It was a very Wisconsin basketball game. That was very Wisconsin. All right, 4. That was number 4. Number 3, Warren Sapp. Warren Sapp literally tried to kill Chad Clifton. It was the worst football play I've ever seen. Did it not end Clifton's career? He broke his hip or something.
Pretty close, yeah.
Warren Sapp was playing for Tampa Bay, right?
Then he danced. Yeah, then he danced. And Mike Sherman tried to box his ears in right there in the 30.
Oh, terrible. Number 2, Manny Machado. He was playing for the Dodgers when the Dodgers and the Brewers were in the NLCS, and he kicked Jesus Aguilar. Remember that?
Oh, wow. I believe in Jesus. It's too bad I kind of like Manny.
Tough.
I showed him around. I got him his desk at ESPN at the hot corner. Yeah.
Tough. Don't kick Jesus Aguilar. That was Bush League. He did it on purpose.
I believe in
Number 1, it's not even close for me, Ndamukong Suh. Stepped on Aaron Rodgers and kicked TJ Lang in the nuts. Did he not?
So basically, anybody that tried to injure one of our players, you are against.
That's not great. Kind of frowned upon. He was the worst. He's still playing? Is he still playing?
Yeah, I think he is.
Around for a minute.
I forget where he was.
That's a fun list.
He was with the Rams for a while, and I think he took off there. But yeah, I think he's still bouncing around somewhere.
I think he won a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay when Tom Brady was there. Fairly certain.
So
not happy about it. I guarantee you, JA, people are going to watch this and go, "Oh, you missed him, or you missed that person, or you missed So this is going to be fun. Please comment below with who we missed that should have been on a list of top 5 Wisconsin villains.
I'm surprised Randy Moss is nowhere to be seen on your list, even honorable.
Well, he was, but you just said he was like the king. So I mean, how do you not?
So he freed up a space for somebody else on yours.
I moved
people of
all of
Ohio
the
State
Ohio State
University.
fans in there. Yeah, that's exactly
Mhm.
right. Oh,
Yeah.
brutal. Oh, man, that was.
So I'll tell you this: there's a great comedian. His name is Greg Warren. He used to be a wrestler at Mizzou. He does a great bit, and he goes, "You can't go into anybody again. This is not my material." And he goes, "You go into any bar in Ohio, right? And you go, OH, and the other guys go, IO." He goes, "Since when does it take two frickin' people to spell that word? It's not that hard, and yet it takes." Hey, how do you spell your state's name? He goes, "Well, usually I work with a partner. I don't know if I can get this on my own." So, yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
man.
OHIO. Mm-hmm.
Not the.
Takes two people. There you go.
Frank, save us.